Hey there, welcome to this Christmas cheer acrylic painting lesson. I'm Mike Ferris. To get started, I'm going to be on my 8x10 hardboard canvas, and you can see my image already laid out. And if you'd like to trace this out, I do have it available down below in the description box, as well as colors and materials and how to transfer images to your canvas. So to get started, I have a 1-inch angle brush. It's going to help to cover ground and also get around everything very precisely with the edge and the tip of the brush. So I have permanent black, raw umber, burnt umber, cad orange, permanent red, magenta, yellow medium, titanium white, of course, as always, and some phthalo blue. So I'm going to do the background very dark. I'm just going to take some black and some raw umber mixed together just a little bit. And with this, I'm just going to start applying this around everything and bring it down to about where the tablecloth is going to be. And as you can see with the edge, I can get around everything really well this way. And this is the perfect brush, and I highly recommend this for getting around very precise lines and curves and edges, and especially points. They can be kind of hard to get into with regular brushes, but that tip, as you can see like this, I get that corner really well, and then just following the edge down really nice with this brush. So just going to block this in and just do something like this. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just going to take some raw umber now, just a teeny bit of a value change. And let's get the bottom here. Okay, with a clean angle brush now, same 1-inch angle brush, I'm going to take some permanent red just straight up. I'm not going to mix anything. And let's base coat now the Santa hat. And again, with that nice edge and tip, you'll see I can get around everything right up to the line where that dark meets right here. And I can very easily fill this in, and I'll just pull the paint in from the edge. And I'm not going to cover the whole hat, as I want different values to kind of show where some shadowed areas are going to be, so I don't lose the whole hat within the same value. So you can see a couple openings there, and about something like that. Okay, without cleaning, I'm just going to take some raw umber now and some permanent black mixed together with that red. So I'm looking for a very, very dark maroon color. Okay, something about this value, and let's go into some dark shadow areas with this. Okay, and right here you can even see I'm going to apply this shadow color on top of some of this base coat red, red base coat color I started with. Okay, and also right here there's a little fold inside right here. Okay, with a clean brush now, I want to take, again, that permanent red, and I want to get some titanium white into it, so a different value. And with this general value, let's block in right here. Okay, I'm not going to clean. I'm just going to take some permanent black now, and I'm going to get a good scoop of white. So I want this mid-tone gray, again, for a general base color. And let's get a little yellow in this. I want to warm this just a little bit to kind of give it somewhat of a warmth to that gray. Okay, a little bit more yellow. I don't know, it just kind of puts more of a cozy feeling, I think, into it, being that it's a Santa hat and we're indoors and having some Christmas cheer and all that. So a little yellow helps, I think. Okay, so I'm just blocking this part in, and you'll notice here, as I take the brush around, I'm going to leave a little gap here just so I don't lose, again, where I want the hat and that ball to be. And I'll just block it in again, just generally with its base color. And right here again, leaving another gap. This is going to be a reflection from the Santa hat that's going to be actually hitting the glass. Okay, now I have my palette knife, and I'm going to take some yellow medium now. I'm going to make a general base color here, so I want to take just a little bit of burnt umber into that. This dulls it down and makes it more of a beige yellow. Okay, and a really good scoop of white, so I want this very light yellow beige color for our drink color. And again, this is just base color, and I'm just going to be using this to block everything in, so this is just blocking stages. And as you can see, as I mix the color, I'm going to scoop it up, and then I'll smash it down. And this really gets all of the color mixed well, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a value you probably don't want on your canvas when you're looking for a solid color. And of course with base color, it's not a big deal because we are going to cover a lot of this up and play on top of this. So I'm just going to base coat this right here, and I'm going to fill this whole glass in with this general color. Okay, and again, leaving a gap as you can see there so I don't lose the image from where I want the Santa hat to appear on the other side of the glass as we're looking through it. Okay, just keeping these separations and it's all good. Just knowing where things are, mapping things out. Okay, as I come down on the stem here, I just want to strike on each side and not fill the whole thing in. Okay, so with a clean brush now, I'm going to take some more permanent red just straight up, and with this, I'm going to block in the tablecloth with this. And also the mistletoe berries, I'll go ahead and block those in. And never eat mistletoe berries, by the way. They are very toxic, in case you didn't know. Okay, so with a clean brush, I'm going to take some yellow medium now. And let's get some raw umber into that. I'm looking for a very dark green value here. So a little bit more yellow, a little bit more raw umber. And to that, let's get a little phthalo blue now. That gives it more of a green hue to it when I mix this into it. Okay, a little bit more yellow to that. And just a little white to bring that up just a bit. And let's warm it further here. So kind of just playing these colors in about this value here. It doesn't have to be exact. And I'm going to block in the mistletoe leaves just like so. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm going to go into some raw umber just straight up. And I want to block in the base of the glass here. And as you'll notice, I'm going to leave the outside lines, of course, so I don't lose where the base is in that background. Okay, and I'm going to make these little things, these little shapes. I'm just going to follow the curvature of everything here, and just no right or wrong, just anything goes. I can cover it up if I don't like it as I play along with it down the road and add more white and all those dark values. And I'm just going to basically kind of do this. Okay, any brush you're comfortable with. You can use a smaller brush or a detail brush. It's really up to you. I'm using that large 1-inch angle brush, as you can see. Okay, and right here, this is going to be a pine cone. I just want to block in with that same raw umber. And of course, as you see, leaving those lines on the outside there so I don't lose the shape there. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just going to take now some permanent black with that raw umber already on my brush and a little bit of this red into it. This is permanent red, a very, very dark maroon color here. And with that, I just want to dance this angle brush in, just kind of make these little folds and these shadowed areas here and start building up texture and dimension on our tablecloth, just like so. Alright, cleaning that brush and setting it aside, I have my number 6 nylon flat brush here. The bristles are kind of frayed out. I'm going to start doing some bokeh light stuff in the background here. So I'm going to take that same light beige yellow color here. Let's get a little bit more yellow medium to warm that a little bit. Okay, to saturate it. And now let's get a little raw umber into that just to change the flavor on that one. Okay, just a little bit there. And let's add a little Cad Orange to this. So you can really mix this however you want. There's really, I mean, the background is the background. It's really all about the glass and the Santa hat and all the things. But the background with the bokeh lights, you can make those any value you want. You can do phthalo green ones if you want in the back. It's all up to you. So with this value, I'm just going to turn the brush. And as I do that, I can really get these solid kind of oval-like shapes here. Okay, and I'm not going to do perfect circles. I'm going to do some oval stuff, maybe some more round. And it doesn't really matter. And of course, anything I don't like, I can just take that dark background and cover anything up or knock something back if it's too much. Okay, I can even have it go off the canvas. You just kind of like that. And this is really freestyle. Just put them wherever, and again, cover it if you don't like it, and it's all good. So as paint runs off the brush, another thing you'll see here is they get more transparent, and this is a really good mix of bokeh lights, is to have some that have solid lines and then others that are more transparent and more fuzzy. So I'm just going to sort of let the brush do what it wants. I'm going to put different variations of this yellow. I'll add more orange or more brown or more white, you know, whatever, and it's all up to you. Okay, a little bit more orange to that. Let's get a little bit more burnt umber, and let's get a little yellow and white to that. Okay, just some kind of light peachy color. Let's dull it a little again. Sorry, a little bit more with some of those raw umber and orange colors there. Okay, and again, you can see the value change here. Just kind of mixing things up, just kind of putting them wherever. Okay, and I'll even have some come up to the glass here and kind of come off of it. And kind of disappearing behind it. Okay, so again, anything you want to do. Okay, without cleaning, I'm just going to take some titanium white and just a little bit of paint and very little pressure with my brush. Let's make some fuzzy ones here. You can see those edges there as opposed to the solid ones. This just adds more variety and more realism to the bokeh world this way. Okay, and I'm going to go into some more yellow medium and mix it with some of that yellow beige color. And right where these bokeh lights come together and overlap, let's put a little wedge in here. This just adds a little bit more variety and interest into the painting this way. And now I'm going to take my number 2 nylon flat brush here. I'm going to start doing some stuff here on the Santa hat. And I'm going to take some titanium white. And with this, I'm just going to sort of hash in and dab in and dance around this number 2 flat brush just like this. I'm not going to cover every piece of that gray up, of course. And I want more of the light coming in from the right and more of the shadow on the left here. So I'm going to leave a lot of that gray on the left here and just kind of run the paint out and make it less. Okay, kind of something like that. And I'll even do kind of the edges a little bit. Just kind of something like this. Okay, and it just gives it a 3D and dimension and texture build up that way. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm going to mix some of that raw umber with that magenta and permanent red. And with this, I want to go in here and I kind of want to settle down these shadow areas, make them a little bit more natural. So where that dark value meets the more vibrant red, I'm going to place that right where those meet and just kind of drag that out and sort of make it more natural looking this way. Okay, no cleaning necessary. I'm just going to take some permanent black now. A little bit more of that permanent red mixture to it. So mostly black, and right here where I want the shadow the darkest and the heaviest, I'm going to go right here to show a dramatic separation between the hat and this part of it that flips up. A little bit more black. And again, where the shadow is the darkest, let's put that right there. And what I'm going to do is drag this out, okay, into that dark maroon, just very light pressure with my brush. Okay, just kind of something like this, and it shows some realistic shadow play this way. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm going to take just plain magenta. That's the more vibrant red. And just a little bit of paint on the brush. I'm going to go right here, and I want to sort of drag this and kind of feather and glaze over some of that dark value here. See, very little pressure with my brush, and I'm just kind of just lightly brushing it over. This really gives more of a natural look to this to make it look like the Santa hat is like it has folds and crevices instead of something on the hat, if that makes sense. Okay, kind of something like that. It just makes it smoother and more realistic this way. Okay, so without cleaning, I'm going to take some titanium white now. Okay, let's strike some highlights with this. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm just getting titanium white, and let's really hit some of these really bright highlights here, just like so. Okay, not everywhere, just in a couple spots. That really brings it out. Okay, I have a small number 6 angle brush. I'm going to use that to hash in some very detailed kind of texture buildup here for the Santa hat as I continue here on the bottom piece. Okay, just titanium white, and with the very edge, I'm going to sort of do these X kind of crisscrosses like this. Okay, at the very top, and I don't want to take over all that dark shadow that I put up there. See, I'll go around it a little bit, but I want to leave it though to show the dimension and the depth of the hat, so it's not a flat painting, of course. So just going to hash it with the edge, with the tip. Okay, just kind of something like this. Of course, if I don't like something, I'll take that gray and I'll cover anything up that I don't want there. Okay, and see on the left here, again, I'm going lighter with it because I want more shadow on this side here. Okay, and then over here, I want it really heavy. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of more or less brush it in instead of hash it in on this area. Okay, but I still want some openings, and as you can see, it just really does a good job building up texture. You can see the shadow play, and just kind of like that. And of course, cover something if it's too much or whatever. Okay, a little bit heavier white here as well, and look at the contrast between that shadow side and then the ball of the Santa hat here with more white. Okay, and on the very outsides here, just striking more highlight there that just brings in more dramatic effect and gives it more 3D this way. And just kind of something like this. See that? A little bit more heavier now with white. Okay, I want it really, really heavy in there, and I'll just kind of fade it off and just leave more openings as I get more towards the left, just like this. Okay, and also down here, let's hit this one for the reflection that's going to be hitting the glass as well. Okay, so something like this. I tell you, that angle brush does a good job with texture and detail and not covering up all those values, but letting them play together, and it's super simple. It just does it. All right, let's get some of that yellow beige and some burnt umber into that. Okay, and right here, this is going to be a shadow color that's happening where the Santa hat comes over the glass here. Okay, so something like this. Just kind of meandering that down and giving the hat some detail and texture in this kind of a way. And with that same value, I want to strike the bottom of the glass here to show where the drink ends and the stem begins. Alright, back to my number 2 nylon flat brush. I'm going to start doing some things on the glass here. So I'm going to take some black and some raw umber. Just kind of a even mix here. And let's see, I want to lay out some things and of course follow the curvature of the glass, which is the most important thing. And I'll just follow it down and just kind of strike a line to start with, just like so. Okay, and right here, another line as well. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving a place where here on the left, I want to do a very bright highlight at some point. So just to kind of, again, map out where I want some things to be. And now I just want to dab in the rest of this value. You can see here, this is going to be the start of building up some of the texture of the bubblies that we're going to see, and also the black background that's showing through the glass. Again, as you notice, I left some of that yellow showing on the right there. I don't want to cover everything up. Okay, so I'm just basically going to fill in most of this color for the most part, but not all of it. And also down here on the stem, I want to strike in some things. Okay, so I left that opening there to show the tablecloth through it, so of course that gives it the transparency that I want through the glass. So I'm just taking some magenta red and a little bit of that permanent red mixture. And right here, just going to block that in, and now we can see the tablecloth right through it. Okay, without cleaning, I'm just taking permanent black now, and I just want to go in here and kind of darken up some of this and saturate some of this background that I can see through the glass here, and just kind of make this fuller this way. Now I'm going to grab my number 3 nylon round brush, and this has a nice tip on it that I can use to do some details here with some bubblies in the glass here. So I'm going to take that into that yellow medium, or I'm sorry, that yellow beige color with some more titanium white. And I want to desaturate this and brighten it, and as I pull it through, I want to turn it, and that brings it to a nice sharp point. And with that point, I'm going to dab in some of these bubblies here on these dark areas, so just here and there, not everywhere. You're just kind of doing something like this. It's all good. Cover them up if you don't like it or if it's too much with that dark value. So this is probably one of the easier paintings you'll probably do because there's so much forgiveness in this piece and you can cover anything up and knock it back and all that. See, I can put these any way I want and just cover them up if they're too much or whatever with that dark value or vice versa. So I'm just going to dab away. I'm not going to worry about it. It's just whatever. And look at those bubbles just go. It's just really taken off. The Christmas cheer is here. It's really happening. So I got a little bit of raw umber, raw umber and black, mixture into this yellow. And you can see it's got a little bit of a gray color as I come up here. And I want to do that up there to give the impression of the Santa hat as well as bubblies that you can see through the glass at the same time. See, just like that. And now we can see what looks like the Santa hat on the other side of the glass through it. And ain't that nice? Yeah, just these little things, these values that play together just really bring this together like this. Okay, I'm going to do some little strikers like this. Okay, all good. Cover it if you don't like it. Okay, I'm going to bring it up into the reflection of the Santa hat on the glass as well. Okay, back to my number 6 angle brush. I'm going to take this now and I'm going to go into those reds there. And I'm going to take a little titanium white into that. Okay, something like this, and I want to strike some of that value in the glass because of course some of the red Santa hat and also some of the bokeh light colors just kind of bouncing around. You want to be able to see that in there as well. Okay, so with a clean angle brush now, I'm going to take some titanium white. I'm going to go back into that yellow beige color here, and this time I want considerably more white than the yellow. I want a very, very, very light. Very, very light. Okay, something like this. I want to pull through. Get that nice chiseled edge on that angle brush, and right where I put this little shape here where these two dark values are, I want to fill this in, and this is really going to bring in this shine on top of this glass and really pop a shine off of it with the highlight. Okay, so just filling it in just like this. And I also want to bring that down on the stem as well. And also in the stem, I want to reflect some of the sparkles in it as well, just like so. Alrighty, back to my number 3 nylon round brush. I'm just going to take some raw umber, just plain straight up, pulling it through to a point. And again, with the point, I want to do these little circles here. In this really bright highlight area, let's show the bubblies in this way. And also with that same value and same brush, let's put some of those dark values in here, and this just really brings in depth and dimension and realism. Okay, just kind of mixing it up, kind of like that. Okay, and also with some black now. Let's go in here and we can make trails and we can knock back bubblies. Like I said, anything goes. You can really do anything you want to do. Okay, now let's go to some titanium white. I'm going to pull through again as it brings it to a nice sharp tip. And with that white, I want to sparkle up just some of these here and there. Alright, back to my number 6 angle brush. Let's go into that yellow beige color. Okay, just straight up, getting that nice tip on it there. And I want to go in here and I want to strike some things. Okay, following the curvature of the glass. Okay, just kind of something like this. Okay, back to my number 3 nylon round brush again. I'm going to just take pure titanium white. Okay, pulling it through as I turn it to get that nice tip on it. And with that tip, I'm going to strike in some of these glass highlights here. So most important thing is that I follow the curvature of the glass and the shape of it as I bring this in, and it's all good. Just anything goes. Knock back anything if I don't like it with that dark value. And so just kind of striking these little things here and there. Okay, just bringing some shine, and also let's brighten up some of these little reflective little bubblies in the stem, just like this. Okay, no cleaning. I'm going to take now some permanent black, a little raw umber into that. Okay, pulling through again as I turn it. And let's play this dark value in. So playing lights and darks back and forth and getting those contrasts and those pops and those shines to happen. And this is how I do it, just going back and forth and knocking back things, readjusting them, putting back things if they get covered. It's all good. Anytime, any way. Okay, I'm going to break up some of the base here with some shadow here, just like that. Okay, so just kind of knocking back some of this white, and again, if it's too much, I can just add white back in. Okay, with a clean brush again, getting more titanium white, and see, just bringing that right back into the mix. All good, anything I want to do. Alrighty, with my number 3 nylon round brush again with a clean brush, let's go with that yellow beige and some titanium white. And again, I want to hit some more of these bubblies here and these sparkles. So right here, I kind of want to have it more busy and more of a clump of them. But again, whatever you want to do whatever it is that you think should look the way it should, or however you see it. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. They're bubblies. They just kind of go wherever. But I just thought it would be more interesting to put more of a clump there maybe and kind of fizzle them out in some other places. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm just getting titanium white. Again, that Santa hat reflection on the glass. I just kind of want to fill some of this in, and I don't want to cover everything because I do want to have some of those gaps and kind of some of those striking lines showing. Alrighty, with my same number 3 nylon round brush, I'm going to go ahead and play these lights and darks back and forth here on the rim of the glass. Or I'm sorry, the base of the glass. Alright, with my number 3 nylon round brush, let's get titanium white. Let's go into some burnt umber. Okay, and I'm not really going to use the tip. I'm going to use the whole brush and just kind of hash in these little things here in kind of a star kind of manner. It just kind of something like this, kind of almost like doing flower petals in a way. This is going to be the start of a pine cone and just kind of getting some values where they go generally. And of course, I'm going to build this up and knock things back. So just getting something to work with here in a minute. Okay, back to my smaller angle brush here. I'm going to get some permanent black. And I want to pop the side of the glass here just a little bit. See, I'm going to put this little line in here. Okay, just kind of something like this. I think this really brings a dramatic effect, and it really helps to contrast with that highlight there. Okay, back to my number 3 nylon round brush. I'm going to take some magenta and some permanent red, pull them through to a point. And right here, I want to strike the bottom of the glass here with some of that value. Okay, back to my number 2 nylon flat brush here. I'm going to settle down some of those shadow areas on the tablecloth. So I'm going to take some magenta red, a little bit of yellow medium that just helps to warm up and make that magenta a little bit more vibrant. And now a little white to desaturate it down just a little bit. Okay, right here, just want to lightly brush over and, like I said, settle down some of that shadow, making this more natural looking. Okay, no cleaning. I'm going to take some permanent black now. It's got a little raw umber into there. And I want to go in for my darkest shadow here. And let's just kind of play this around. I just kind of want to dance it around. Yeah, just here and there, not everywhere. Okay, I'm going back into that dark maroon color. I'm going to take some permanent red here with some permanent black. And I want to go inside of the the left side of the berries here of the mistletoe. Okay, just starting on the far left and then dragging it out towards the right. I want to get this very nice shadow play going. Okay, this builds texture. It builds a 3D dimension look to these berries. Okay, so there's that one, and also right here, again, the shadow's coming from the left, which means our light's coming from the right. Alright, I'm going to go into titanium white now. Let's get a little bit of that red mixture. Okay, just looking for a very light red. And this is going to be my highlight color that I'm going to put onto the berries here. So again, my light's coming from the right. I just want to put that right here. And of course, I don't want to take over all that red. I just want to place it where the highlight is the strongest on this side. Okay, going back into magenta red now, no cleaning. And just a little bit of paint on the brush. I want to go around that highlight, and I just want to settle it down and give more of a blend to give more natural light play. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm going to just take pure titanium white. And I want to go in the very center of that light red color here. So the light red is just to give it glow and shine, because without that, it's going to look just like maybe a white dot is on the berry, instead of the white looking like it's a highlight and the berry looking shiny this way. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just fuzzing that out into that red there. That gives it a natural light play and a shine. Okay, so now I'm going to take some phthalo blue. I'm going to take some yellow. I'm going to take a little raw umber to dull that down, so I'm looking for a dull green color here. Okay, a little bit of raw umber and black to that. Let's darken that a little bit further. Okay, I want a very dark army green, and with this, let's play this in here. This is going to be our shadow color for the mistletoe area. Okay, so just here and there, not everywhere, and of course anything I don't like, I'll take the different value and cover that up. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm going to go into some of that yellow beige, and let's get some titanium white. Okay, good scoop. I want it very, very light again, about as light as the highlight that I put on the glass earlier. Okay, and with this, I'm going to do these little shapes here. Yeah, I don't know what these are. These are just like little shiny little, I don't know, sparkler, what do you call them? Icicle-like things, I guess, in the mistletoe. So, yeah, just little light striking these shiny things, just kind of playing it in here, dancing it around. Super easy. If there's something I don't like, again, I'll take that dark or that light green and just cover anything I don't want there. Okay, so now I'm just going to take just pure titanium white. I want to go back and I want to brighten these up here. So I'm not going to put white on everything, just a little bit. Okay, just kind of dabbing it in like so. Okay, and now I want to take that yellow beige color and I want to get a little bit more yellow into that to bring more saturation and yellow back into that. And I want to go on the very outside of these shapes here. Again, this builds a glow and shine. You can see how that looks like that's shining. Maybe they're Christmas lights in the mistletoe or whatever. So just kind of something like that. It really gives a glow and pops on the shine and everything else. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm just taking pure titanium white now. And one more time, I want to go on the berries, and I want to place this titanium white right in the middle of that faded light pink color here. You just kind of fading that off just a little bit. And again, every time I put a new layer down and build it up, it just gets brighter, the glow gets better, it gets smoother, it just pops that much more. Okay, so with just permanent red and a little magenta mixed, I'm going to place a few more berries here in the mistletoe just like that. And again, no cleaning, titanium white, and let's put some highlights in those as well. Okay, no cleaning, I'm just going to take permanent black now. And I want to put some shadows within this mistletoe. This is really going to pop out some of the details and make it more dramatic and really bring in better contrast this way. Alrighty, let's go now into some permanent black. Okay, a little raw umber into that. This, again, is my number 2 flat brush. And I want to place some of these shadows in here and start knocking back some of this value in here and really start bringing out the details of the pine cone. Okay, going into some burnt umber now. And with a clean brush, of course, and titanium white. Okay, a very light brown color, kind of like this. Again, my number 2 flat brush, and I want to strike some of this value in here. And of course, not cover everything up, and this is what it's all about, letting all the values play together, showing lights and shadows and midtones, and together that brings in dimension and the 3D look and all the things that we need to be able to see this. Okay, so without cleaning, I'm just going to take some titanium white now, and I just want to hit just some highlights here and there. Okay, no cleaning, just getting permanent black. And let's get where the darkest shadows are. Okay, now I'm going to take some raw umber and burnt umber together. Let's get a little bit of titanium white. Okay, just kind of something like this. Maybe a teeny bit of black into that. Okay, kind of something mid-tone. And right here, I want to give the impression of a table. Kind of show just a little bit of light striking it. So just kind of right here. Okay, no cleaning, just permanent black, and I want to go around the mistletoe berries here. Okay, to cast the shadow onto the table, just like so. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm going to go into some yellow now. Let's get a little titanium white, and I want to go back into that green value. It's got a little raw umber and phthalo blue with yellow and some white. And right here, just very little paint. I want to strike a little reflection to show shine on the table. Okay, and with a clean brush now, I want to take some permanent red. Okay, just by itself, and let's reflect some of the mistletoe berries into the table also. Okay, without cleaning, I just want to take a little titanium white into that red. Okay, for that light pink color again. And this is our mistletoe berry highlight here, and let's reflect those highlights as well into the table. Okay, with a clean brush, just titanium white. Just a teeny bit of paint on the brush, and I want to reflect the base of the glass as well. Okay, with my script liner brush now, lots of water and titanium white, I'm going to go ahead and sign this piece, and I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Your support means everything to me, and if you dig this video and enjoy my art lessons, please do me a favor and subscribe, as this helps me to continue to make more videos. And don't forget to drop your questions and comments down below. If you have them, I'll answer anything to the best of my ability. So definitely go for this. This is a super forgiving piece, very easy, and it will just turn out. So totally go for it. And with that said, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a happy painting to you.